This is Yams here with a new playlist regarding the creation of spyware in Java. This software this software will capture keystrokes and autonomously send them to a Gmail account of your choice. The first thing you want to do is to create a brand spanking new project. I'm gonna call it Spyware, although a more specific name might be email sending keystroke capturer. That's too long for my taste. There's a whole load of dependencies we need because we not only need Java's native access, JNA, but also an email sending API. So I've gathered all our jars ever so graciously and put a link in the description. So now all you need to do is create a folder, call it something like library or libs, and copy and paste all of those jars to and into that project folder, and then just add it to the build path. Then you can start working on the base code. That aside, we now need to create a class which shall only contain the main method and like a few other things. Obviously, such things should go in a package called main. After we create that, create the class. Now that we've created the class, we need to add the libraries to the build path. Alright, so now all I've done is right-click New Java build path. Just messing up, clicking the wrong things, build path, and then configure build path, then go down to Java build path. Under the library section, you need to click on add jars. And then once you do, you don't go into the source folder, you go into the folder with your libraries in, which is the one called libs. So I'll eventually figure that out. Add, nope, not that one. Add library. But I closed it. Alright, not there. Yes, this one. And we're going to add all those. That was unusually difficult for me to do that time. So click apply and then click OK. Now we're ready to start laying out the base code, and should be pretty great. Alright, so I'm going to create a new package. I noticed that this is out of convention. I didn't realize that at the time when I was typing it. So the class is going to be called native keyboard, and not the package. I'd call that something like keys. So now that's created, we can start to implement the interface that is stored inside the jars. See, I just renamed that to keys because I was like, what? Why is that named not properly? So implement the interface. That's going to give us those three callback methods that are invoked every time a keystroke is pressed on our keyboard. And this class is just going to do things like cache our keystrokes so that they can be sent off to the email. But we're not going to do that in this tutorial. That'll be a later one since this is a series. So now we're going to go into the main method and just do some of that basic JNA setup where we have to do global this dot register and then add that just because the docs told us to on the GitHub. They tell you to do this. So that's what I do to get it to work. And actually we're not going to put this object, this class in here. We're going to create a other class to handle it. But I don't know that yet. I end up realizing this is not an ideal idea. So you don't have to write this down in this class. Yeah, we're going to put that declaration somewhere else. We'll still be initializing any constructor, just not in this class. I just didn't feel like editing this video because it's a pain in the butt to do that. I don't like to edit the videos out. I'll just do the commentary to myself messing up. This is the moment where I realize I don't want to create a new main object inside the main class. To me that just looks weird. I don't really like to do that. I like the main class to be its own little thing without all that other garbage inside. But that's just a personal preference. I just think it looks cleaner, more maintainable. So now I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Put this in another class, call it, yeah, handler. This is the handler package because it's going to do the handling to things. We're going to have a manager that's going to handle the keyboard. And also it's going to handle the communication with the Gmail. So this is going to be called managed service because it's going to be, we're just going to start a thread, end up starting a thread in this class that's going to be responsible for the sending of the things. But for now, we'll just allow this class access to our native keyboard, and that'll be it for now. We'll make sure that's encapsulated, add a getter and setter, make sure that's initialized, and that'll be pretty much it. Then we can create this inside the main method, and then just grab that native keyboard from that class and pass it in to that parameter, add native key listener, because that takes in that interface implemented. So there we go. That's pretty much it for content. I plan on making more tutorials on this. It's going to be a series, and that's about it. Yep, that's everything. Yep.